Veterans Day Coffee with MarkZ, the 11th of November 2024. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. Thank you MarkZ for all your time and encouragement daily. PDK. MarkZ update. Some highlights by PDK, not verbatim. MarkZ disclaimer. Please consider everything on this call as my opinion. People who take notes do not catch everything. And it's best to watch the video so that you get everything in context. Be sure to consult a professional for any financial decisions. Member. Good morning, all. I hope your weekend was fantastic, and happy Veterans Day. Member. Thank you to all the veterans for all of their sacrifices for our country. MZ. We give all the veterans our utmost gratitude. Thank you. MZ. An interesting weekend in Iraq. We are joined for a reading on Armistice Day. We honor our veterans. Member. How much longer can they push this out? Too many barely surviving. MZ. We do not know the timing, but there is a massive push in Iraq to go before December 10th. They say that's when they want to be complete, so they need to go sometime this month. That makes the most sense. Member. Another guru said redemption center appointments should start on 26th. Why would they start on Thanksgiving week? Member. I would be thankful to see the RV that week for sure. Or sooner. Member. Many are saying that by Tuesday the 12th of November. We should have a shotgun start. Member. I listened to Militiaman last night. He doesn't think it will be 2025, but very soon now. Member. Goldilocks doesn't think it will go until first part of 2025 because that is when some banking laws take effect. MZ. Goldilocks may be right, but we will see. MZ. So far this morning it is very quiet on the bond side. But that is to be expected. On the West Coast they don't start moving around until 2 to 3 p.m. Est in the afternoon. I hope to have a very solid update on the bond side this evening. MZ. CMKX also silent over the weekend. Member. So no RV until Trump officially takes office on January 20th? MZ. I have simply not heard that. 80-90% of my contacts believe we will be going before December 10th. There are a few outliers' opinion that we won't be going until Trump is in. But the overwhelming majority believe we will go between now and December 10th. Member. I believe we are on the threshold. MZ. In Iraq they were very busy and working over the weekend. That is where I am going to focus this morning. MZ. Government spokesman reveals the most important features of the Sudanese and Trump communication. This article really gets into the discussion. Trump believes Iraq can be a very calming influence in the region. They had spoken a number of times already. I believe at least 3 times since Trump was elected. The two sides stressed moving forward with relations between our countries, and they also talked about money, technology and Iraq's role in it. You have to know Trump has an interest in Iraq's ascension and change in value. It would bring financial stability to the US and peace and prosperity to many parts of the world. This is very encouraging. MZ. Iraq is talking right now about how many things they can now move forward on now that they could not move forward with before, when they did not know which administration was going to be running the US. It seems the Iraqi people are excited about Trump being elected as now they know where they stand and can move forward with their reforms. I found that very interesting as I read their weekend news articles. MZ. Benjamin Netanyahu also spoke at least 3 times with Trump on to bring things to a conclusion in Israel and end the conflict. MZ. A turning point in fiscal policies. What happens after the dollar movement monitoring platform? This is all about the auctions. They talk about the mechanisms in securing the US dollar for trade. How is it now going to function? Well, the Iraqi banks will be sovereign. They will be working with an organization in the US, and this may shock people. MZ. The advisor for the Prime Minister announces the mechanisms of support of the US Treasury to Iraq, not the Federal Reserve. So it's the US Treasury in charge of the movement of money, securely moving money, and handling loans to Iraq if any of them need forgiving or adjusting. So who is working with Iraq to make sure banks are modernized and secure? The US Treasury, no longer working with the Federal Reserve. MZ. This is huge because we were told one of Trump's plans is to fold the Federal Reserve into the US Treasury and do away with the Fed as we know it now. Member. I think this is huge, and good by Jerome Powell. Member. Stock market news is talking about Warren Buffett is getting ready to go on a massive shopping spree when the market recorrects. MZ. That makes sense. MZ. Parliamentary Finance reveals a move to question the governor of the Central Bank of Iraq. We are working to change it. Iraq has some antiquated laws that Alak is past the retirement age. Some say he should already be retired, but Parliament is working on changing that law so he can continue to work. I think this is important as they get close to changing their rate. Member. Alak needs to finish the RV that he started. MZ. Elon Musk reposts call to end the Federal Reserve Bank. He says the Federal Reserve Bank has deviated from the Constitution. And this is another reason why we should end the Fed. The Constitution does not allow for the Federal Reserve. So they can remove it. Elon Musk and Judy Shelton is a big fan of this. There is also growing influence for this by Rand and Ron Paul. We will see, end the Fed, picking up speed. Member. Come on QFS and new USN asset-backed currency. MZ. Sadani heads to Saudi Arabia to participate in Arab and Islamic Summit. They are working on establishing peace in the Middle East right now. MZ. In Vietnam. Vietnam Central Bank ready to sell US dollars to keep exchange rate stable, so they are going to sell US dollars and bring back in Vietnamese dong off the streets. What did we say about the pivot and auctions ending? A similar thing is happening in Iraq. They pulled dinar and dong off the streets to support its value. I believe they are about to change their exchange rates. Member. MarkZ, IYO, is the VND going to RV at or above $? Member. Even if worst case scenario all currencies go 1-to-1 at the start, it will be a huge ROI, return on investment, for all of us. MZ. I still expect the dong to go at the same time. Member. What is your gut prediction saying today, Mark? MZ. I am waiting for a bond update today before I give you that. Member. Mark, do you think some of the bond people are under an NDA? MZ. Yes, I do. But whether or not they have been paid in all certainty, I don't. Member. Do you think the Iranian rial will go at the same time as the dong and dinar? MZ. I do not think the rial will be in the first basket. I wish it were, but do not think it is. Member. Veterans are a symbol of what makes our nation great, and we must never forget all they have done to ensure our freedom. Member. Happy Veterans Day to all who served. We appreciate and thank you all. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. Source. dinarrecaps.com